All right, so what's changed, what won't, and what will, or possibly already has, or might? Can the past inform the recent future? So can, looking back, inform how we're going to move forwards? There was a lot in the topic. Okay. There's plenty that hasn't changed is kind of a point. I wanted to just add a little bit of context as to where I'm coming from, so I've put up where I'm from. This is the first page in my portfolio. I added that last bit yesterday, Michael, my boss. So I like to know about what the why as well as the what we do. And the first thing I wanted to say, I just realised I can't change pages while I've got a microphone in my hand. It's a good time to be doing branding is the point of this slide. There's a wealth of good work going on, and it's a good time to be doing it here and probably everywhere else. However, it wasn't always the case. When I first got here 13 years ago, it was all a bit shit. I cannot confirm that is Hans Holzbosch leaving Woolies, having done some research. Anyway, I noticed two things. The work wasn't that great, and clients were risk averse. That's the point of this. This isn't my exclamation. This is my exclamation. This is the frustration of Nina Jenkins, the CD at the Partners Sydney, who used to come back frustrated from meetings from clients who did not want to take risks. All right, so what changed? I'm going to have a little look back and see how we got from it being a bit shit to it being pretty good. And to see if looking backwards can help inform how we move forwards. How do we go from quite expected to quite exceptional? And from that, what changed? Okay, so in my experience over the last 20 years, there was a shift from ad land to design land. It was that design companies were in charge of how a brand expressed itself through its through the campaigns that they did, and the message would take center stage. Logos are pushed into the corner. So as all these case studies illustrate, logos are now come out the corner. So another reason why it was money got tight. Gontel, was that really their logo? So in a financial climate, money got tight. People had to shape up or ship out their agencies in what they offered and their language and how they cut through. Okay, and the third thing that changed was branding's profile. Not least, Mr. Vince Frost arriving on our shores. So the competition, the international competition that we used to see online and in magazines now moved in next door. I'm not saying that everything was down to Mr. Frost. There was a lot of great work that went on before and a lot of great work that went on afterwards. But any publicity that he got, we got. He held an exhibition at the Opera House and it was fantastic. Fourth, inspiration inundation. This happened. The internet, 13 years ago when I first got here, the AGDA annual would come out every 2 years. And one bit in it would be dedicated to corporate identity. There'd be lots of other good work going on it, but now we are inundated with the stuff, which is great. Okay, so our role changed from Adland, clients changed, they sharpened up, branding's profile changed, and the internet helped. But plenty hasn't changed. That's kind of the point of the next bit. There's certain fundamentals that haven't changed and won't change, in my opinion, anytime soon. I've picked on 4. The first thing is anything that any of us have ever done that's any good is because it took a lot of work. Anything that looks effortless, we know wasn't. And it takes ages and lots of hard work, blood, sweat and tears to make anything look good. So get stuck in. There is a book by Bob Gill. So I've tried to sort of say that we didn't invent all the good work that has got us to this fantastic place in a minute. Bob Gill wrote a book called Design Made Difficult, in which his basic principle was give yourself an interesting problem. Crap problem, an unclear one will give you an unclear solution. I personally don't think you get good and bad briefs, it's what you make of them. Okay, the third of the 4, take risks, get noticed, nothing new here. Clients have content, they have something to say or sell. You've got to get your story straight and then try and express it in the most surprising way possible. What's expected versus what's surprising, how wrong can you get it? And then a further skill there is selling it in. I think the best boys, the big players out there are very, very good at not only doing great design, but convincing the clients to go there. And fourth, keep it simple. Okay, so Paul Rand quote, ideas don't need to be esoteric to be original or exciting. So this sort of plays to the how to sell it in bit. If you can give the client a watertight because it's about connected energy, because it's about each person can make 1 degree of difference, and so on. Okay, so finally, back to talking about the future. Can the trajectory of what we've just talked about inform where we're going to go? Seriously, these are not points. All right, the first big change was coming up any second. Basically digital. So your brand is no longer simply what your customer says it is, it's what Google says it is, and all that. Search engine optimization, UX expertise, social media experts. So the budgets that our brands have maybe spliced and diced, we might see less of it because it's going to other people. But as we've already learned, maybe less money for us will make us work harder and clients take more risks to stand out a little bit more. I'm not from a digital background, I'm from a graphic design background. So what I'm learning are folk who do have full-on digital expertise. And consider the digital experience first, because chances are everybody else will. It might be the only experience that many people have of our brands. So the design process must start with identifying and thinking about real users' needs in a digital landscape. Okay, the last two. This logo stuck around for 40 years. No one really thinks this one's going to. So the point here is there's branding, there's rebranding, and then it's great. In the short term, rebranding and all that stuff means more work for us, but if we're not careful, it's possible that brands, the companies that keep having to rebrand are going to question the value of the stuff that we did 5 years ago, then 3 years ago, then 2 years ago, if we keep having to redo it. So finally, that kind of means that we need to be responsible. The future's going to be great, but it's up to us to make it great. Branding has come of age, and it's time to act it. As Hans Holzbosch, Damien Borchak, Studio O'Brien said recently, we need to step up in our place at the table, have a point of view, lead your clients to better decisions, better branding for their needs. No more cruising. It's time to put our foot down. That's me. Cheers.